Okay, this is the Road Warrior. This is the original pedal car I built when I was 14 years old. Its 31st birthday is coming up, and this December, because it was built in 1984. I was 14, but one of my fans, wanted to see how this thing works, to put it together. Well, this is a Schwinn scrambler frame, and that's an old teardrop Schwinn sprocket. I don't know what year that is, but I made it so that you could take and loosen up this bolt and loosen this one, and the chain will slide forward or backwards for the chain tensioner. And then if you have to adjust the rear end, you loosen up these 4 bolts. I don't know if you can see it, and then that rear end will go forward or backwards. And then if you're having trouble getting it tighter, I made that chain tensioner right there. It's just a bolt that's bolted through there and goes to a pipe, and the bolt goes against the pipe, pushing it forward or backwards. And this has got the 65 Ford Mustang steering box with the chrome chain link steering wheel. Let's see if I can get this view. See? I added lights on these things last week, too. I just took a piece of aluminum and one of these lights from AutoZone, and then I cut out the aluminum, bolted it, and I also, to make the light work so nobody would steal it, I took the 2 screws out of the back of the light and put longer screws in it so that I could just screw it through the holes and into the light to hold it up. And see this one here, this rear end is a 1962 Schwinn granny bike. That's what they used to call them old 3-wheelers back then. And chain comes down to the shaft, it comes back over, and then it's got another sprocket right there with a little bitty chain that goes back to the rear wheel. So this is the Road Warrior. This is the first one. I restored it like 2 or 3 years ago, and then I was so impressed with that one, I built the Pegasus. This has got a simpler go-kart type like steering. See? I'd rather it have an actual steering box on it, but I already did this, so that's what it is. This one here's a lot lighter to pedal. That's an old Mongoose BMX bike frame, and this used to be a folding table, and then I just reconstructed it for this pedal car. I just repurposed it. And this, you can adjust the frame by loosening this bolt and loosening these 2 bolts, and it can go forward or backwards, because you really don't need a lot of slack or a lot of tension on it. So you can, this here will all come forward and backwards too. See? The whole thing can go forward or backwards. Then I took straps for stabilizers, as you can see, and then the chain comes down, then it comes back over on a shaft with a hub, and then the hub bolts to your sprocket right there, so it's direct on that shaft. And this is called the Pegasus. Now, this one here is called Hell on Wheels. It literally is hell on wheels. It tears them up. This is it was made to look like a 32 Ford Roadster. As you can see, it's got the fenders. And this has got a 32 Ford Roadster steering box on it. And this system is a little bit different. When you need to tighten up the chain or loosen it, there's a bolt here on the bottom and a bolt here on top. And then you can loosen these. And because this chain goes down to a double sprocket coaster brake, you want the frame to go up or down. So you just loosen up that bolt, lift it up, rotate the frame up as high as you want it to tighten up the chain. And then when you get it to where you want it, you just tighten this top bolt to bring it down to keep it from going nowhere. And then you tighten up these here, just like a regular bike, except for you ain't got the wheel on it. This one here was supposed to be lighter than the other two, but it didn't work out that way because the aluminum kept flexing, so I had to put extra bracing on the bottom, and that weighed it down by about like 20 pounds. But the chain goes straight down, so when you get in, you're not hitting, your feet don't get caught. And this one here, I don't know what type of rear end it is, but I know it's a granny bike rear end. And seats, I don't know if you can see it, but that chain goes up there to that double sprocket. I'm gonna try and lift it to give you all a better view of how the bottom of this looks like. Okay, hold on. See? It comes down to the double sprocket, and I had to put the steel reinforcement on it, but then it goes back to there, and then it drives this wheel. And that is how you do it. Home Depot found out what I was doing, so they got rid of all those little ball joint things to make things hard for me, so I had to customize my little torsion bar system. So I took a piece of all thread and did it like that. But anyways, this was just I did this for a fan here on YouTube. He wanted to see how the workings of this thing worked. These three pedal cars, they're all unique, different setups. And I am in the process. I'm going to build a pedal truck. I'm going to build a pedal cruiser, and eventually, hopefully, it'll get me in the news or in the newspaper or something. You know, but publicity is so hard to get. But anyways, it's Hell on Wheels, the Road Warrior, and the Pegasus. So, well, I hope you enjoy it. So now I can actually say again, I'm not only an actor, a YouTube entertainer, I'm also a creator, because I built these. So, anyways, thank you very much, and be sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family to subscribe.